This episode is about extremely perverse and violent metal and related imagery. It's going to get gross and very offensive. You have been warned. For some heshers, grindcore just isn't extreme enough, and so you go deeper into Goregrind, but then you think, I wish all of this violence was also disturbingly sexual, and so you end up at Pornogrind. In case you didn't catch it, the name of that band is Rectal Schmegma, and the song is Frog Felching. It gives you a pretty good idea of what we're about to get into together, so maybe don't eat during this one. Pornogrind is a subgenre of grindcore. For the uninitiated, grindcore is a metal subgenre born in the 80s with bands like Napalm Death, who famously hold the world record for shortest song ever.
Thank you, good night, cheers, you've been great, thank you.
Grindcore took crust punk and thrash metal and death metal and industrial and noise, put a blast beat on it, and found new realms of musical extremity. Except in song length. Some early grindcore bands wanted their lyrics to match the extreme sound that they were making, like Carcass, whose 1988 debut album cover is a collage of autopsy photos, and includes songs like Vomited Anal Tract. That's why some people consider Carcass to be the godfathers of Goregrind, another grindcore subgenre that, as you may have guessed, is super into body stuff. Goregrind is not supposed to be real. Unlike the very straight-faced left-wing politics of bands like Napalm Death, Regurgitate does not intend for you to take complete rectal prolapse or worm-eaten rectum seriously. So you can see how someone eventually would be like, let's zone in on the sexy stuff. As Carcass are to Goregrind, so Gut are to Pornogrind. Filthy godfathers who go by aliases like, and I'm totally serious, this is the way the singer is listed on Discogs, sperm-soaked consumer of pussy barbecue. Also important to the evolution of the genre, cock and ball torture from Germany. Groovy. Groovy. Groovy and hateful, which is sort of the bummer about Pornogrind. It is aggressively misogynistic and homophobic in a way that is much less funny than Goregrind's surgical nihilism. And I get that it's a joke, but I had never seen so many songs about raping prostitutes in my life until I started working on this episode. In a way, both genres are reflective of the films that they're heavily inspired by. Goregrind pulls samples from Z-grade horror films and winks while squealing about prolapsed rectums. Whereas Pornogrind gives me that same skeevy vibe of old rape revenge movies that take way too much pleasure in the rape. I'm not saying Pornogrind is a problem. It is way too freaky to ever be mainstream. I'm just saying it's not for me, because I am a nice boy. And that was the Pornogrind episode. What do you think? Is Pornogrind funny or totally not funny? Am I just a big nerd? Let us know in the comments. And you should know that I wrote this entire episode at a hotel poolside in Quebec City, surrounded by families, and I was just trying to maneuver my laptop so no one could see me listening to Rectal Schmegma. I've been wanting to do this episode for a long time, and I owe it to our sponsor, Tradio, the first ever sponsor of This Exists, for allowing the Pornogrind episode to happen. They reached out, they wanted to sponsor the show, but they wanted specifically like a freaky episode. And I was like, well, I got this thing, and then Pornogrind, but I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do that one. And they were like, yep, Pornogrind, we want it. So, definitely support Tradio. There's a link in the description. You saw the ad off the top. They're this really, really awesome startup out of Portugal that allows you to discover new music and then invest in it, and then yourself get rewards and the artists get rewards. I have discovered this Portuguese metal band called Wacko. I discovered a band from Bristol called the Centerfolds. It's like a strokesy kind of Interpol thing. And then listen to this band from Toronto called Moon King, who are also very excellent. It's really kind of exciting what they're doing. It's totally different. It's hard to totally explain. So just click on the link because we owe them. They're the first ever people to believe in the show and sponsor it. So thank you to them. Thank you to you for supporting Tradio, and be excellent to each other.